What's up, guys?
What's up?
My coffee's dry. So what's up?
We're gonna talk about the release, all the songs in the album, grassroots, history of A.T.B.A.N Klann and stuff like that. So we wanted you to join because you're the leader of all this. So
Okay.
so yeah, I think we wanted to go track by track from the grassroots album. So
Okay, let's go.
so starting out with Open Your Mind. I really like this one. It's a really good album opener. It has some really cool, really great production to it. I really like Mookie's verse is my favorite in it.
Yeah, that was the very first, that was the very first song we recorded. And I remember doing that beat that we had that beat maybe a week or so before he went to the studio and recorded it. And that was kind of like my first time using samplers and stuff like that. So, it came out dope, It was a cool sample we used. That was like Stan Getz or Astro Gilberto, somebody like that. But yeah, that was a cool sample. That was a great project.
It's really
good track.
Yeah. How it opens, for me, I think it's a real good, perfect opener for the album. And it's funny, every time I listen to A.T.B.A.N Klann, Apple's voice, high pitch, is just it's just weird to me when I listen to it.
Because sometimes what we would do is we used to do tricks with the tape where we would slow the tape down and then Apple would do his raps, and then we speed the tape back up, and it gives it that kind of really high pitched sound.
Yeah, they were so young back then. It's just like watching the Puddles of H2O video. They're so
Heck yeah. They were 17 or 18 by that time. By the time we were in the studio, they were I think 17 or almost 18 or something.
So they're just getting out of high school. They're still in high school, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I remember Apple, a lot of times, Apple couldn't come to the club or the studio because he had school the next day. I mean, they all had school the next day, but, back in those days, they would, they go to this club called Ballistics.
Yeah.
So they would go to Ballistics and then tell their parents, oh, we were at the studio, at Motiv8 studio, and then sometimes, I'll get a call, I'll get a call from Will's uncle or Apple's dad. Usually it was Will's uncle calling me up, cursing me out and telling me, asking me, what am I doing with their kids? And I'm like, what? No, they're not. They're not at my house. They're not here. And it turns out they were, because Ballistics was every Thursday, so they would show up there, and that's how they got out of it, is by using me as an excuse. Anyway.
So do you want to do the next track? Put on your Adidas. Is it? Yeah, Put on Your Adidas is next, right? Not Going for a Ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite titles. I love that title.
Really that title is, of course, that title is from Run DMC, My Adidas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where that came from. That's where that came. If you listen to the first, when the first verse, it's like, hey, Mr. Walker, Mr. Smooth Talker, VW Stalker. That's, if you look on my Instagram, that's me. I'm sitting on a red bug, a red VW. That was my car back then, and that's who Will was. That rap is about me.
That's cool.
That first part, he's talking about me.
I that's one of my favorite. It's one of my top 5 favorites of the album too. It just has a really good beat to it.
Awesome, man. It's like, just imagine those guys being your age right now.
Yeah.
And, that's how the feeling is. It's definitely a good feeling. Yeah, we got a remix actually to that song. We actually redid it, and that's the original one right there. But we redid that song.
Oh, really?
And yeah, it sounds kind of dope. That was really the very last track we did after Let Me Get Down to the Rhythm.
That's
did that remix.
So Going for a Ride is the third track. This is another really cool one. I like the chorus of this one a lot. It's one of my favorite choruses.
Of Going for a Ride?
Yeah.
Yeah, that I'll tell you where the original to that one is. So it's on Blue Note Records, and it's called Harlem River Drive.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, because if you listen, the words are Harlem River Drive. So we were like, it goes. Actually, it sings Harlem River Drive, and then it goes Going for a Ride.
Yeah.
And that's where we got that part. So, you guys got to really get, the fans. You guys. One thing I noticed that you don't do is that you guys don't really dig in and find the originals to where the music came from. That's something that you should really be interested in too, is hearing the song and then researching it and finding the sample, the original, because it came from the 80s or it come from, with A.T.B.A.N Klann, our stuff, all our samples came from like the 60s, late 60s, 70s. 60s to late 70s, that's where we were. But you guys ought to get into that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's on you. All the originals are on YouTube.
Yeah.
I can hear the samples, but it's hard to kind of like work out what sample. Because you can find it all online, especially if you're behind and stuff. But
there's also an app called Who Sampled This.
Yeah, whosampled.com. I've been there plenty of times.
Yeah, that thing is cool.
Yeah.
But see, with A.T.B.A.N Klann, like there's not one on there. They don't have one yet, but I don't know if they could even find some of these. A lot of them are pretty obvious, but shit, people find everything nowadays.
Yeah.
So the next track, Mountaintop.
Yeah, this is a really cool one.
I love this one, yeah.
Yeah, that's us climbing to the top of a mountain. That's us. So those are like that one. Open your mind and relax. That song. These are meditation songs, and that's where the entire album. That's where it came from. Is the practice of meditation and basically using using the practice in the lyrics. But Mountaintop is another one of those kind of meditative kind of vibes. And Laborio Women Beater, that's not even a song. That's
just Will, right? That's just Will rapping the whole time, right?
Yeah. But what that is it's not even a song. It's a hit. It's supposed to be a hidden track.
Oh, okay.
That's another one of those hidden tracks. Remember I told you about those?
Yeah, all the hidden, it's a bunch of
hidden. I tried to tell these guys when we were making this album, this particular version, I tried to explain that to them, but they kind of didn't get it. And my guy who was on my side, he's from Germany, and the label is from Belgium, and not even my boy got it. They're like, hidden tracks? What is that? That's all hip hop records got skits.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. From back in the 90s, it's called skits. It's not even really hidden tracks. It's a skit.
Like Behind the Front has like the 3 skits in it. Like those.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You see that? That's how that's how it happens. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we did a little bit of that with on Masters of the Sun too. Like that's kind of like you hear how Ring the Alarm went?
Yeah. Part 1, part 2, part 3. Yeah.
Yeah, Ring the Alarm has that A.T.B.A.N Klann sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Like when that came out, that's immediately what I thought of. Like, oh, this is like A.T.B.A.N Klann.
Yes.
That.
Yes.
Probably my favorite off Masters of the Sun too. I really like that song.
Oh, cool, man. Cheers. Yeah, so we got what if Focus on You. Oh, no sequel, right?
Is it Lord of the Flies or no sequel?
Oh yeah, Lord of the Flies.
Yeah, Lord of the Flies has a great message. I like Huck Finn's verse.
Yes. I remember we were recording that, and I had at that time, I knew Shaggy could rap, but I never recorded him before. And he came in, and we're sitting in the recording studio, and he started his part comes on, and he starts kill him, stay gash and skin him. I was like, what? Who? That's him? Like he sounded so ill.
Yeah. Yeah, he has that really cool factor to that song. It's like it just like it shocked me when I heard it. It was like, wow, that's different.
And when they were writing their verses, Apple came up to me, like he came in the studio and he was like, "Hey Mo, how much do the police make?" I was like, I don't know, $10 an hour. He was like, okay. I really didn't know at the time. I just like, I don't know,
Yeah,
$10 an hour. I don't know. So that's why in Apple's verse, he's like, fronting like you're hard with your $10 gig. If you could understand those lyrics, like, cause like if you listen to it, you gotta keep on listening to it, and hearing the words, so that way you can catch all these things. A lot of the fans are from other countries, so like our West Coast slang is all up in that record, and it's not exactly the easiest to understand. To understand. Whoa, sometimes some of the things that they say is hella, it's hella slang. So you got to keep on listening to that.
So then you No Sequels next, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So that I actually yesterday, that was the first time I listened to that song like all the way through. It's pretty cool. I never really acknowledged it.
That
Cool
came
stuff.
from that music. The bass of the music came from an instructional, like a instructional practice. A record where it's just for practicing. So it had just a couple parts to it, and I bought that record somewhere, and we put that in. I put that sample, that one together, and it came out fucking super. That's why you can actually hear it, because in parts of it goes 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah, this is an instructional record.
Yeah, it's a good track that I love. I mean, this whole album for me is like, it's just, I love the jazzy kind of like bossa nova type. That's what I love about it personally, in terms of the vibe it creates, the sound.
Yeah, these are all songs. These are records that, these came from records that I've collected from, like, one of my neighbors one time was like, "Hey man, come to my house, I'm gonna give you these records." And he had all the dope shit, all the dope old school jazz, like he had Blue Note records, he had CTI records, and all these other different labels that put out that kind of sound, like back in the day, and we just, man, we just went at them records, at them, man, and that's what came out. And a lot of it was bossa nova, and that began to be the A.T.B.A.N. That was our sound.
So Focus on You. This is the first one. Dandelion, right?
Yeah, Dandelion. She was I remember her. We recorded her one time. Will brought her over the first time, and we recorded this loop. We made this loop, and then had her record a song called "Sad and Blue," and that was the first time Will had wrote an R&B song. That was the very first time for Kathy. Her name is Kathy, for Dandelion, and then it still had been a time from in between that we actually got a record deal. So it probably been a year. And then as we were in the studio, she came by and recorded Focus on You. And that was actually Will's first time recording an art, like trying to write a R&B track, something slightly different.
Yeah.
And a lot of this A.T.B.A.N Klann, it resonated and it translated into it transcended into Black Eyed Peas, the first Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah.
It really, like, Behind the Front and A.T.B.A.N Klann, you could tell that they were next to each other.
Yeah.
I think that's why I like this album as well, because personally my favorite Black Eyed Peas album is Behind the Front. So listening to this, I've only listened to this like this week because I wanted to wait to hear it properly instead of YouTube copies and stuff. I mean, this album, I really like it because it has that feel, like it's transcended to Behind the Front, and I can see where it's come from.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah, my favorite's Bridging the Gap too. So that's another reason why I like this as well, because a lot of similarities between the two. Well, between the three.
Yeah.
In the front also, yeah.
Yeah. Between three, you could tell the progression from the start, and it has it elevated and elevated. But a lot of people do get, a lot of people be trying to, they come up on the page and they talk about, oh, how Black Eyed Peas is pop and stuff like that, and they should put out more hip hop. Well, you gotta understand, the thing about this is that it shows you steps. It shows you steps, okay, in this music. We came into this making music. We didn't really call it hip hop. It's just music, and you have to keep on elevating and elevating. Okay, cool, and then you make it to your successful level, and then you come back and do some stuff like your real stuff. Where it's cool. It doesn't have to be pop, like such as Masters of the Sun.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cheers.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I can see a lot of similarities between Masters of the Sun and Grassroots too. A lot of similarities between the two.
Yeah. Nice samples.
Yeah.
Like different.
Yeah. So is it Quid Pro Quo is next, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see. What do I remember about that song? Nothing. I like it, but
yeah, same with I don't remember. I listened to it yesterday, but it's not one that stands out to me. A lot of these songs, the album really stand out to me. This is a good one, but
Epic did that beat.
Who did?
Epic.
Oh.
Epic. And now he's in the. Then after that he was he created a band called Crazy Town.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, them dudes is us and this dude. What happened was after we recorded A.T.B.A.N Klann, Will went to high school with this dude. His name is Seth not Seth Friedman. That's the manager. His name is Seth. Okay.
Yeah, manager.
I forget Seth's name right now, but Seth, we call him Shifty. Will went to high school with that cat. He brought him over. He's like, Mo, could you, work out with this dude and help him, do what I did with the A.T.B.A.N Klann, help him get his shit together. So I did, and that was in the loft. And over the years, then sometime Epic moved into down the hall from me, and we recorded, and I was like, hey man, go over there and get down with that guy. That's what you should do next from here. So he went there, and then they recorded a song called Butterfly. Look that shit up. It's a big hit. Yeah. And that's where that guy came from. He came right from under my wing as well.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, that's what Quid Pro Quo. Epic did that. It was a cool track. It wasn't about the track. The song. I like the lyrics and all that shit. I like it. I like the lyrics, but it wasn't one of my favorite songs. Probably because I wasn't involved on the beat.
Yeah. So World's Gone Mad is next, and that one is that a song?
No, World's Gone Mad. That's a great song. That was a cool song, relevant today, very relevant.
Yeah.
And then Strolling. I remember that song. I think they did that with Epic too. I remember coming in the studio hearing that, going, "What is this?" It was like, what is this, dude? Remember when you asked me yesterday about it, and I was like,
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was imitating when I wrote that. But yeah, so that song's cool. But This Is Dedicated, that's one of my all-time. That's one of my top tracks, right?
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that one too. It's a really cool song.
Mm-hmm. This is dedicated to the ones that can't. I think we were talking about to the labels that wouldn't sign us or some shit.
And that's what was that? Dandelion on that one as well. Oh, is that Mr. Shaw?
Which one? This is dedicated or Let Me Get Down.
Is he on that one? I think he.
Shaw's on Let Me Get. Just.
Yeah.
Damn. You know what? I don't even remember.
You sent me the thing.
The list.
Good.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Okay. If I sent that to you, then it is what it is. there's hella shit going on in that record. And I remember when I wrote that email, I was actually listening to everything. But yeah, dude, there's so much going in and out of that record. That's why you have to really sit there and be like, okay, you know, listening to it, because you might miss something.
Yeah.
Like a lot of these songs weren't on the original record too.
Right.
Oh,
Like
really?
Let Me Get Down, and Pose of H2O. That wasn't like that. It probably would have been on the album, but like I don't remember us exactly saying, okay, this one that was supposed to be, that was this Let Me Get Down, and Puddles was a single.
Yeah, it was on the vinyl right there.
Like I think back in the day, I forgot how that shit went. We would be doing singles, but not. Man, there was something we had in store for that a long time ago, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm glad Let Me Get Down's on the album because it's really cool.
It's my
cool
favorite,
track.
I think.
So what do we have? Couple more. Duet is the next one.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that Rhodes keyboard part, man, that was one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, I just always I've had a question about that. I think I probably asked you, but did you guys like use any of that song for like the behind the front version of it, or is it just a coincidence with the name?
No, it ain't a coincidence. That's not a coincidence. Somebody that, you know, I guess they were trying to use that, but step it to a different twist.
Yeah, because I personally like the Grassroots one better.
Thank you.
Same.
Cool. All right, cool. That's cool. I like to hear that. All right. So what do we got here?
Well, are we on the what's the next one?
H2O, I've got on my list as the next track.
Yeah, Puddles. Yeah, Puddles. I remember the day they recorded that. I was with. There's a guy. That picture that Mookie just posted. The person that he tagged, that name. You know where he added Conejo rapper.
Yeah.
Okay, that guy. He's from our crew too. Like that guy, he's been there since. Like it was him and Will at the same. I met them both at the same time.
Oh,
you know, my boy came over. He's like, "Yo, I want you to produce these guys and this guy and this guy, work with them." So I was like, "All right." So, and then one day, check this out. One day, like we were all at the studio, me, Will, them guys, we were all there, and he's like, "Yeah." Will's like, "We're like, what you doing this weekend?" Will's like, "Oh yeah, I'm in this rap contest," and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's cool. I'm in a rap contest. Conejo's in a rap contest as well." And so we go to the gig, and me and Conejo and I think Bandit was here. We come in, and Will comes in the gate too. Like we're all like, "Hey, what's up? What are you doing here?" So it was the rap battle was they were all in the same battle. So basically, I believe Will ended up winning the battle, and it was Will and Conejo. It was Will at the top and then Conejo. So that's where that cat, that cat's been around since back in the day. He was there that day at the studio. As a matter of fact, I think it was him that took that picture of me and Mook.
Oh, cool.
Who else is in that picture? I looked and I saw me and I saw Mook.
I'll pull it up right now on my phone. I can.
Yeah. I'll pull it up too. Let me see.
Here it is. Here. It's this.
Is it Mr. Shaw? Good Lord, dude. I can't even see that shit.
Let me turn my brightness down. Let me see if you can see.
I thought it was Apple.
There.
But
Yeah, I totally can't. Dude, I can't even see my phone. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, Apple's tagged in it. So it's Apple.
Oh, it's Apple.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
Apple.
Yeah. Because it was. Yeah, I remember that is us recording the chorus. Cool. Yeah, because it was supposed to be Apple doing it or something like that too, and he couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was cool. It's a cool picture.
Nice. Mhm.
So the last track. Oh wait, no. Rain on Me is next, right? I think we already talked about that one.
Yeah, we just did. And you gotta ooh. I think they did that. That's Mookie. They did that at Epic's house. something like that. I can't, I remember he did that by himself or something like that, or yeah. Like I'm not even like I remember that day. I remember messing around with it, but it was just like when you make skits, that's the whole point of them is that they're not meant to sound like, oh, cool. They're meant to sound quirky and like the fuck. That's part of that's what makes the character of the project. And the reason why I'm telling you kids this is because today music is not listened to the way it was back in the day. A lot, people they think, okay, cool, I'm gonna find a song I like, and then oh, I like to hear that one, I like to hear that one, but you got to hear it all the way through. Then you start choosing your songs, but hear the vibe, because the message, there's a message. A lot of records too put out, and it's like, what's the message? Buy my music. These records today, that's how it is. It's like
exactly.
Some of these records, but that's what we're doing, man. We're putting out, we're here to put out that good stuff, that good feeling.
Do we have anything else? Do you have any other questions, Charlie, or you want to wrap it up?
I kind of wanted to hear more about like kind of how the Black Eyed Peas started and how you was kind of just any stories on.
Yeah, that's how, that's kind of like how it got started. As the Black Eyed Peas originally was just it was our production company. And then, it's out there, once we couldn't leave the label, it was like all business stuff, dude. Like the fact with the name and how it got changed over is like, it's a story that's been heard over and over again. Like how Prince, I don't know if you, Prince, at first, he was Prince, and then he changed his name to a symbol. That's because he had to change the name to a symbol because the label still owned his name for a term, and he had to wait till that term burned out. So that's kind of like how it technically got started, how Black Eyed Peas got started. Income Taboo came. Hey, Tim, let me tell you this. One day at my studio, when we were doing A.T.B.A.N Klann, when I first met Taboo, like everybody used to hang out at my house, at my loft. One day Taboo was in the bathroom. He came out the bathroom, and I'm over there doing music. I'm like, hey, Will, who is that guy? He had like Indian look, and he was like all crazy. I'm like, this shit look dope. Who is that guy, man? He's like, oh, that's Taboo. Can we get him in the band? Can we put him on? He's like, he can't rap. He's just a dancer or something.
He was in Pablo with Mr. Shaw, right?
Yeah. And then that like that was during, after we finished recording A.T.B.A.N Klann, then start working out with him. Eclipse was kind of helping him out, showing him how to rap and stuff like that. I remember having to yell at Taboo all the time, and I was like, yo, man, who the fuck is this guy? He's unprofessional. Like, hey, man, get your shit together. No, literally, Taboo. If you look in Taboo book, he says that. And Fergie, I remember Fergie, like I remember her. She came by the studio with this dude Roycell, because she was gonna sing on an Apple's Bro Shiggy, a Bro Shiggy song, and I remember Roycell picked her up and brought her over. Or she came up in this. She had a Mustang and shit. She had a Mustang, a convertible Mustang. I forget if it was blue or white, one of them. But she came through and sang the song, and then like a couple times more, and like Will came in the room to ask her to sing on something, and then I guess because of Fergie's history and they kind of knew the same people within the industry, so like it ended up clicking together.
Yeah,
something
That's cool.
That's how I saw it. That's from my perspective.
And in like 20 seconds, I think.
Okay, dude.
So
wrap it up.
Yeah, I just wanted to get an outro. So yeah, thanks for joining us. It was pretty cool. Yeah. Thanks for sharing all your stories and talking about the new release, which is really awesome. And thank you for my CD and the taboo.
Oh yeah, I see it back there.
Yeah. We'll bring it up.
Nice one.
This is the one you sent me from Taboo.
Yeah, that was from the tour bus.
Yeah, so good.
He just wrote his name on it because to keep up with his shit, but he ended up leaving it, and I guess it never gave it back to him. Like it was just sitting there.
Well, it's here now, so
Well, okay, you take care of that.
Yeah, of course. It's gonna go.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us, and
Okay, guys. Cheers. Take care.
thanks.
Bye.
Okay, peace.